Hello, everybody. Good morning. Today is what a day to start. You know, like what a way to wake up. What a just a day to
Yeah.
get hit with news. I'm joined by the chef himself, Omar Nakri. How are you?
What's up? I'm doing well. How are you, Christian?
I'm doing fine. You know, I was gonna make a breakfast sandwich this morning, but there was something messed up with the bacon, so I just had to throw out an entire package of bacon.
No, if you wait 1 hour, you can go to McDonald's and get the Travis Scott burger. So,
That's an entirely different beast that I did not know existed until right now.
you don't know about the Travis Scott burger?
No.
Oh, man, it's a double quarter pounder with bacon, I think.
Okay.
But the real value here is that it's being sold for $6 for the meal. So that's a double quarter pounder with bacon, with medium fries and a medium Sprite, I think.
Oh,
And it's
because of course you
$6.
guys, right?
Yeah, of course. And usually just the burger is $6. But yeah, pretty crazy.
That's wild.
I'm gonna get one today after the stream.
Speaking of wild, we have a prequel. Listen, it is a prequel. Okay, I saw the thing. I saw it said 100 years before Breath of the Wild.
I'm looking at the subject, the headline right now. The title.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors 2, essentially. That is fleshing out the story we all wanted to see in Breath of the Wild. And man, I feel like this could be super exciting.
The 100 years before Breath of the Wild, that's a big, in that story there was something that happened 100 years ago, right?
Yeah, dude, and the thing
that was the number.
Yeah.
Okay.
They always show these cutscenes, right, of the flashbacks of like Link dying and like the entire Hyrule just getting decimated. Like, if that's this game, this is the perfect genre for that game to exist. So we have the 6-minute announcement video pulled up. We're gonna watch this, talk about it after the fact, but I'm good to get rolling with this if you are.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Just let me know. 3, 2, 1. That's that kind of deal.
Start on go, yeah.
All right.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello everyone, I'm Eiji Aonuma, the producer of the Legend of Zelda series. We mentioned in the June 2019 Nintendo Direct presentation that we had started development on the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Many people around the world are still playing Breath of the Wild, so I'd like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Everyone, thank you so much. Regarding the sequel, in order to make the vast world you enjoyed exploring in the original game even more impressive, the team is working hard on its development, so you'll have to wait a bit longer before we can provide more updates.
Fuck!
In the meantime, we've prepared a different way for you to experience the world of Hyrule, and we have a video to introduce it. Please take a look.
I bet Breath of the Wild 2 is fall next year now.
Probably. There was no way it was coming out this year, right?
No.
That was never going to happen then?
No.
Hyrule is also the history of Calamity Ganon, a primal evil that has endured over the ages.
I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago.
Oh shit.
Dude, I'm into this.
Yeah,
This is
this
gonna be good.
storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the perfect game to tell this story with, dude.
Yeah. It looks like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. I think it's like the engine. They just made a Warriors game in it.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Shit, I gotta play the DLC still.
Yeah, same.
Zelda
Play as, yeah.
and the Champions, dude. Damn.
Yeah.
They took every complaint people had about Breath of the Wild and were like, let's just make a whole game about that.
It looks like it feels pretty good too.
Yeah. I'm glad
It doesn't look like Dynasty Warriors to me,
Yeah.
does it?
Like, it has shades of it, you know? Like, enough, though. Also, they lose, so this is gonna be dark.
Yeah. Let's hope.
I must protect everyone.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's gonna be dark.
What you just saw is the game that Koei Tecmo Games is developing. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
That's a
This
good
game
name.
takes place 100 years
Yeah.
before the events of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. In that game, the Great Calamity that occurred 100 years prior was mentioned, but the actual event itself wasn't shown in full. In this game, you'll be able to experience the events of the Great Calamity. So now, I would like to invite Koei Tecmo Games producer Mr. Hayashi to join me here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yosuke Hayashi from Koei Tecmo Games and the producer of this game. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity began when Mr. Aonuma approached us saying, I think it would be interesting to create a Warriors game telling the story of the Great Calamity.
Dude.
What do you think? The battles between the Kingdom of Hyrule and Calamity Ganon would complement Warrior-style gameplay against large armies. The previous Hyrule Warriors games
You
were
play that?
filled
Oh man,
with
what an
Zelda
upgrade.
content.
No, I never played it.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I'm glad I
Legend of
didn't now.
Zelda: Breath of the Wild broke these conventions entirely, and perhaps it's the same for everyone
It looks
here, but for
so
someone
different.
like me,
I know.
who's been playing Zelda games for a long time, this was an extraordinary experience. It's a new, special title for me. Unlike the previous Hyrule Warriors games, Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity was developed by working closely with the Zelda team in every step of the process,
Dude, this is great.
including gameplay direction, graphics, world, and all dialogue. And while we maintained the distinct gameplay style of the Warriors series, with exciting 1 versus 1,000 battles and a wide variety of playable characters, this became the only game that will let you experience the world 100 years prior to the events of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild firsthand.
Thank you, Mr. Hayashi. During the development of the previous Hyrule Warriors games, I was impressed with how the Warriors development team, led by Mr. Hayashi, had a deep understanding of the Legend of Zelda series. This time around, they made it possible to create this new experience by combining the well-detailed world of Breath of the Wild with Warriors gameplay. Therefore, I believe this game will offer the experience of the Great Calamity battles that weren't fully shown in the original game. I hope that both those who played the previous Hyrule Warriors
Is this game gonna have a better
and those
ending
who
than Breath of
played
the
Legend
Wild?
Zelda: Breath of the Wild can experience
Absolutely.
this game.
It has to.
Hyrule Calamity will launch on November 20th.
Oh shit.
That's
That's like 2 months.
maybe pre-order this because
Thank
that
you
looks
for your
sick.
continued support for The Legend of Zelda and this game.
So when's Nintendo gonna buy Koei Tecmo?
Pretty soon, I bet, right? Like they did
Yeah.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, and then the year before that was what? The Fire Emblem Warriors 2? And then before that,
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors? I don't know.
Yep.
I feel like they're really coming in clutch for them recently.
Yeah. So I pulled up the regular trailer and I have that on loop for the stream right now. But
Wait. Is that what we just... Oh, there's something else.
there's a,
Okay.
yeah, there's this a 2-minute trailer. It's the same thing they showed in the presentation we just watched.
I got you.
But yeah,
100 years ago.
for like, I know it's fun to clown on the Zelda timeline, and I do that.
Yeah.
But I think with Breath of the Wild, it's a really good opportunity for them to like really make a set, like sort of refresh on the lore, you know? So I feel like exploring the story they set up there more in a spin-off before a sequel that like really goes in on more of this world and these takes on the characters in Zelda conventions is a great idea. And doing that just makes me honestly kind of happy that they seem to be going in on this take of Zelda.
No, for sure. I mean, like, they hinted at the event in the game, right? So I feel like there's definitely precedent, or like, it was definitely, they had reason to make a prequel, I think.
Yeah.
In a way. That's cool to see.
Yeah, so do you think, like, what's your take on it being a Warriors thing, because I'm with you that it doesn't look like the typical Warriors game, and from what I've heard of reviews of Hyrule Warriors and even Fire Emblem Warriors, they started to branch out a little bit in terms of not just making them clones. Like Fire Emblem implements the weapon tree or the weapon triangle and some other mechanics, and for everything I've heard about Hyrule Warriors is that it hold on. I'll get back to my point in a second. The end of this trailer says next update 9/26.
Oh, weird.
So do you think that's like a normal direct?
Nah, because wasn't there one this month with this and Mario? I feel like, or I guess Mario needed its own thing. But
well, go with me.
I think that's just the next tweet.
Do you think this game would be at a partner showcase since it's Koei Tecmo?
No, because I think Nintendo is funding it. So far, those partner showcases haven't had anything like Nintendo's entirely funded, right? Like, I think Shin Megami Tensei 5 is more of a partnership than like a Nintendo buying the whole thing.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Anyway,
but yeah, I don't really like Dynasty Warriors. I'll be real.
Yeah,
but it looked kind of okay there. So maybe I would like to play this, honestly.
Yeah, I
would like to be back in this world.
I've heard that the way Hyrule Warriors 1 treated Zelda as like a series and a celebration was really cool. And yeah, I like hacking and slashing waves of nothingness, you know, and feeling powerful and looking cool sometimes. So
yeah, I hear you like that Avengers game.
Yeah, that's a lot of that. So cool. Yeah, if they can manage to do what they did with Hyrule Warriors 1 and Fire Emblem Warriors of like maintaining the spirit and reinventing that formula to be a bit more in line with the game they're inspired by, plus tell a really cool story in that world, like I'm all in for this.
Visually, it looks really good to me. Like animation wise too. Like it looks really clean.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and it just looks like we said, like it looks like Breath of the Wild. They made it in that engine. I'm almost positive.
Yeah. Now, one thing though on the lore.
Yes.
Did you think the world looked kind of that similar though 100 years ago? Because I kind of assumed it looked way more fucked up, or like way more I guess established, more buildings maybe.
Yeah, I mean I think that there were still wide open plains, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just the villages in like Castletown, because you have to assume with Hyrule, like the big city is Castletown, right? Like,
yeah,
that's it. Everything else is just a settlement pretty much. So I think we could see a world where Castletown is fully built, you know, and like maybe all the wreckage around Hyrule Castle that we had to maneuver at the end of Breath of the Wild is rebuilt in this engine, you know, like working with the Zelda team like they said in this presentation.
That'd be cool.
But I think mostly the overworld is probably going to be nature-y like we saw before, but maybe some of those burnt down towns aren't burnt down anymore.
Do you think Skyward Sword is real? I have to ask.
Yeah, but next year. I think.
Okay.
I think seeing what they're doing with the Mario collection and then 3D World, I think Skyward Sword is going to be the 3D World equivalent for the Zelda 35th.
Sure, I can see that.
Yeah. Here's another question. Again, I don't know a ton about the Warrior format, but do you think this is open world or do you think it's level based?
I think it's linear level based.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I think this is your answer for people who want a directed story from Breath of the Wild. I think this is that, right? You said earlier, like, oh, this would probably have a better ending than Breath of the Wild. Like, totally, right? Like, they can get those moments in, and they should totally do that. Like,
yeah, like, I'd say maybe 60% of this trailer is cutscenes. So like,
perfect.
I feel like that's pretty cool, and yeah, I'm just ready to see this as a Dark Zelda story, and then go straight into Breath of the Wild 2 and make that just a super dark open world Zelda.
This might be the plan now, because I've been waiting to replay Breath of the Wild 1 since like 2017. Like I played it, but then I never got to the DLC. So if I can just play this and then I can go back to that and then, play Breath of the Wild 2 in like May of next year, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, going in with this as a prequel, like, I think that's the right move. I think you're completely right. And then just mainline that story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it looks like there's a little more info being brought out on Twitter. I see Wario retweeting some things. They're relaunching the Champion Amiibo alongside the game, so you can get Daruk, Urbosa, Mipha, and Rivali Amiibo again.
I never got any of those.
Yeah.
I like the designs. Maybe.
Yeah,
I will say, in that trailer, the voice acting didn't seem better.
Yeah, so I played Breath of the Wild late, and I played it in 2017, but I played it after they did the updates. So I played it in Japanese. So I hope the same cast.
Dude, that was the way to play it.
Yeah.
That was the way.
Kolasani in the chat says, "Is it an action RPG? I'm buying it only if there's more RPG stuff involved." From what I know of Hyrule Warriors and specifically Fire Emblem Warriors, there are RPG elements. I don't know if it's a straight up RPG. There's probably some level of progression in terms of what your fighting skills are, just based on those games. And I can't speak to Warriors as a franchise overall, but do you know anything on that front?
Like if they're RPGs or not?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think I know. I mean, I think there are like stat points to invest in, but
yeah, like you can probably deal a little more damage, maybe get some elemental stuff.
Yeah, get a new sword. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. You can probably upgrade the Master Sword like you could in the main game. I bet that's there. When can we order this from Hugo? Probably now. I didn't bring my Switch up with me this time, like I did for Mario, but yeah, I bet you can order this right now.
The history of the
You're not gonna play the first game then, the Hyrule Warriors one ever, or
maybe if I really like this and then it's on sale for like $20 and that one's just more of like a Zelda celebration than like a Zelda story. But I think the reason why I'm considering getting this like now is because the story, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is probably the only. Actually, that's not true. I mean, I did feel threatened to try out Persona 5 Scramble or whatever it is.
Yep.
So I guess that's Koei Tecmo too, right? Like it has to be because the Dynasty Warriors thing again.
Yeah.
I guess I basically only get invested in these if like they're doing cool stuff with the story, and Persona 5 Scramble sounds like it's a sequel to Persona 5.
Yeah. See, that's.
And then this is like a prequel to Breath of the Wild. These are prequels and sequels to two of the best games of the gen.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I'm definitely more into this than I was for Fire Emblem and Hyrule Warriors 1, I guess.
Yeah, and I think I'm glad you brought up Persona 5 Scramble because I completely forgot that was them, but it's very much in this line, and that's another example from what I've heard of them taking the formula and elements of the game they're inspired by and then shaping the basic fighting waves of enemies around what makes Persona or Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
So I think there could be some interesting ways they like mess with the Breath of the Wild formula. Two things. I have a description pulled up that I can read through in a second, but at 54 seconds in the trailer, we're in like the king's court or something, and Link is kneeling, Zelda's next to him, and I can't tell who the white-haired person is. Is that like Link's fangirl from Impa's house? I don't know if it would be. Or is it Impa, maybe?
From Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't remember. You mean the doctor with the photographs?
No.
Is that?
Because remember there was like in Impa's house in Kakariko, there was the girl that every time Link looked at her, she like got super shy. And like she had a diary that you could read.
Oh, huh.
It looks like her, but now I'm thinking if this is 100 years earlier, that could be Impa, because Impa just aged, right? She didn't like...
Right.
Huh.
That could be it.
Dude, if we get to see Prime Impa, that's going to be cool.
I mean, did you expect, like... Should we have expected the designs to be any different at all? No, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, Link's got a knight outfit.
Zelda thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That is cool.
Theo in the chat is asking if it's a DLC or an actual game. It is a full game. I bet this is $60. I don't have my Switch with me, so I cannot check. But yeah, someone's saying it's either Impa or Paya was the girl's name. But
who was Paya, like Impa's daughter or something? Maybe,
or like granddaughter, or like she helped upkeep the Sheikah stone that was in that house, like the orb thing.
Oh, okay.
But we have an official press release, I guess. To see Hyrule 100 years before The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and experience the events of the Great Calamity. Join the struggle that brought Hyrule to its knees. Learn more about Zelda, the Four Champions, the King of Hyrule, and more through dramatic cutscenes as they try to save the kingdom from Calamity. The Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity game is the only way to firsthand see what happened 100 years ago. Battle hordes of Hyrule's most formidable foes. From barbaric bokoblins to towering Lynels, Ganon's troops have emerged in droves. Playable heroes like Link, Zelda, and more must use their distinct abilities to carve through hundreds of enemies to save Hyrule from the impending calamity. Release date is November 20th. 2 players. Up to 2 players. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's $60, by the way.
Okay. 15.6 gigs. So
15.6 gigs?
Yeah.
Damn, that's half the Switch's like internal memory.
That is bigger than Breath of the Wild, dude. So now I'm wondering if it's just an open world again.
That's like the biggest Switch game I can think of.
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe an NBA 2K or something. I don't know.
The Witcher is like, I think, the full thing.
Yeah, oh, that might be a full 32 gigs. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude.
Would you want it to be open world? Like,
I don't know.
I kind of don't. I kind of don't think I would want that because, like, look, you're Koei Tecmo, right? Like, Breath of the Wild is probably my favorite open world ever made.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I need Koei Tecmo to try and get there. I'll just wait for Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
See what's up with that.
I think you're right. Like, especially if... Because I doubt this game's going to have climbing. Like, if...
Oh, man. That's going to feel wrong, though, if you can't climb a little bit.
Yeah.
But it looks like that.
Like, if it's just focused on the combat, I would prefer it to be...
Yeah.
Maybe,
You're
like,
right.
open areas, but, like, drop in, you know? Like your base of operations is the castle, being like, okay... Kind of like how Fire Emblem did it a little bit. You can maybe roam around the castle and then be, okay, we're shipping out to Zora's domain, you know? So then it's like you have the entirety of Zora's domain to fight in, but it's like you're choosing what front you want to fight on, you know?
Yeah.
I think that'd be ideal, especially if the assumptions are true about Breath of the Wild 2, and it is re-exploring Hyrule again, but maybe as Zelda this time, like... I think if
Is that the rumor?
I mean, that's what a lot of the theories I've seen are, of like, Link is in whatever the underworld is that's teased for Breath of the Wild 2, and then Zelda is re-exploring a slightly rebuilt Hyrule with new abilities, so it's like a new way to approach the world.
Interesting.
So, like, if we are going through Hyrule again next year, potentially, then yeah, I would prefer if this was not a full open world. So. But... Yeah. Do you think you're in on this?
I'll wait for reviews.
Yeah.
I think. Like, it looks good. It looks really good here, but I've just in the past never really felt a Dynasty Warriors game.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like a good one. So if it's good, I'll happily get it. You know?
Yeah. I think I'm in for the story stuff alone.
Yeah.
Also, the other day I looked through upcoming releases. I'm really not getting much else this year, so...
No, I mean, well, this is coming out November 20th, which is... Well, that's probably like the same week as Assassin's Creed and Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah, so I'll be playing this that weekend, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. The one thing I will say is that, like, you know, when you go back into the story, like... When Breath of the Wild 2 hints at the story, right, it's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really need to see it, like... firsthand? Will that diminish like how cool it was to hear about it in passing in Breath of the Wild?
I think so.
Because like I think Breath of the Wild, like, you know, exploring that, like, you know, that world you haven't seen before is kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, you know, that effect we still had when we played it years ago is still there, but that's the thing I kind of don't like about Prequel sometimes, that like this event that they might, you know, mention, finally seeing it might be kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you have a solid point. I think bringing that up, yeah, that could very well happen. My only counter to it would be that I think going back to Breath of the Wild, it's still going to have that mystery to it, even if you play this, but just because of the way it's referenced and the way they treat it and the way it's talked about. Because, like, go with me here, I feel like we go into this game, we expect the best of the Star Wars prequels. Like, it's going to be kind of fun at times, popcorny, flesh out some things, but what was so mystical about those originals, like Breath of the Wild 1 here, still exists and still holds up. It's just like, oh yeah, I saw Link die. Like, so seeing that, I think it could help it in a way, but I don't think it's gonna hurt it.
Sure, I can definitely see that. That'd be the best case scenario. And there have been some great prequels, to be fair.
So, and I think them specifically working with the Zelda team is probably going to make the story beats hit in a way that you'd want out of seeing the Breath of the Wild narrative, like like try to tell a battle story, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think on a story level we might get similar feelings. Obviously the tone is a little different, but yeah, I think at worst it doesn't add anything, you know, like, that's what I think.
Yeah, but it doesn't take away anything.
Yeah.
I think that's the it will not like ruin the first game or anything.
Right. And that's for me at least. Like, I don't think there's anything this game can do where I'm like, oh well, now I don't care as much about Link if I replay Breath of the Wild. Like, something like that. I don't think that happens.
Right, you know, you're right. It's like at worst, like, this is something you can kind of ignore, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get it?
I think so.
Are you in?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm kind of passing on.
You've been wanting to try a Dynasty Warriors too, right? For a while, or even looking into it.
Yeah, I've thought about it before, and I think it's this one or it's none of them. I think.
Yeah, sure, I get that.
Also, Persona 5 looks good because, again, story beats, and it's basically a sequel to Persona 5. But
wherever it is, man, that came out in Japan like I think a year ago at this point, maybe February.
Yeah.
Wherever it is. I don't know. No, that would be at a partner showcase.
Yeah. So, in the chat we have, I still think it's crazy that I thought they were going to just work on the sequel to Breath of the Wild, but they made a prequel and then delayed the sequel. So they didn't delay the sequel, because we never had a date on the sequel. I remember the rumors were that the internal date was supposed to be fall 2020, but to be fair, I believed that.
Yeah, I mean, I believed it too. But maybe, I don't know, maybe this was supposed to come out like halfway through the year or something.
Yeah, it could have. Because it
looks pretty polished right now.
Yeah, there's rumors right now that 3D World is done, like even all the new content, and that all this, like the Mario 35 thing was supposed to be announced in April. So like, I think if Breath of the Wild 2 was this year, obviously COVID happened, and I think here's my last question, I think. Or, yeah, maybe 1.5 questions.
Okay.
1, do you think Nintendo has anything else this year on any level of, like, small spin-off or big thing? 2, do you think this affects one way or the other Breath of the Wild 2 hitting in, like, March?
Sorry. Number one question, on your first question, I kind of do believe Nintendo will have something else this year, I think.
Okay.
I think, all right, the new games they've had this year, including this, are Animal Crossing, Paper Mario, this. Right?
Yes.
Is that the 3 games they put out this year that aren't remasters or ports?
Yes.
Okay. I think there's got to be something else, I'm thinking. But that's just on my gut.
Yeah.
But I understand COVID happened, and I can totally get if there isn't another game from them, but I don't know. I kind of think I was kind of really into those 2D Metroid rumors for this year. I think I feel like something like that might slip out.
Yeah, I'm leaning more that this is it. I think this is.
Yeah.
I think this is it. Like, right, like there were people speculating that if there was anything else this year, it might be a Zelda. This is the Zelda. Like, this is it. I don't think Skyward Sword hits this year if that's real.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but they've had a Zelda game every year for a long time now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, now Breath of the Wild 2, does this disqualify Breath of the Wild 2 from March next year? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Or like spring.
I think probably that game is more summer to fall now. Mm-hmm. Even though I joked and said May. Like, no, I think actually, you know what? Did I see about Switch Pro production rumors or whatever? Like that was going to start up to come out within the first half of next year.
Yes, I've seen those.
Okay,
also.
So if that's a real thing, then you know what? Sure, I think it will happen. But actually, and it does seem kind of legit. So okay, yeah, you know what? I'll say this: Breath of the Wild 2, first half of next year.
All right.
That's what I'm going to say with the Switch Pro 2. I believe it.
All right. Well. Do you have any final thoughts on Age of Calamity before we wrap up?
Not really. I mean, it looks cool.
Nice.
I didn't expect. I mean, it was. I'm glad they're making it. Really, like that's something to think about. Maybe buying in November, which is more than I thought from Nintendo this year. To be fair, more than I expected. So yeah, I wish the vouchers were back too. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, because
if the vouchers were back, I'd buy this in Mario easy.
Yeah, dude, man, that's such a bummer that they don't let us do that anymore.
It's because it worked. It's because we robbed them, dude. We took too much money. I think it worked out too well for us. That's what I'm thinking.
I spent $200 on those things, like.
Yeah.
And
you saved like 100. I don't know.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think this looks good. I think as someone who's a little tepid about hopping onto next gen now, having a nice new Zelda story in November is pretty enticing.
Yeah.
And yeah, kind of looking forward to it. So, Omar, thank you for joining. Where can the people in chat
Thanks for having me. You can find me on my Twitch channel, Ohms the Chef. I'm playing through Mario 64 right now.
Nice.
Because
get ready.
I'm getting ready. I need to get back, be prepared before replaying Sunshine, basically. So that's what's happening.
Nice. And Twitter's the same, right?
Yep, Twitter's the same.
Nice. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at Chris N. Buckley. I am midway through a Zelda game on Twitch right now. Probably gonna finish that this week before
oh shit
Mario comes out. Yeah, I got like 4 dungeons left in Link's Awakening, so like I have the time this week. I can get to that.
You can. Are we okay? I think I ask this every time, but is Link's Awakening still better than Link to the Past?
Absolutely.
All right.
No question. But right here where you are, if you're new, if you're here in the chat, notice a lot of new faces, so welcome. YouTube.com/joyclicks is where you are. We like Nintendo here. We like Zelda and Mario. We got some coverage coming up. So if you're interested in this game or the Mario collection or honestly anything else really hitting this year, you can hit like if you enjoyed the video and the discussion. Be sure to check out Omar and myself, like we mentioned. But thanks for coming by. And we hope to see you again sometime this week, next week, other streams. But yeah, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoy your day.
Bye.